Hey guys, so as announced in the previous video, I will be reviewing the Manker F14 multi-purpose pocket light with 1200 lumens and 268 meters of maximum beam distance. Comes in a pretty standard cardboard box. We'll get it out and have a first look on the light itself. Comes in this nice olive green or tactical green. We have a few accessories with it. We have a manual in Chinese and English. Standard Manker lanyard. And then we got a USB-C charging cable, USB to USB, or USB-C to USB-C. And we got an adapter with it if you need to plug it into your computer or so. So we have a USB-C to standard USB adapter. That's pretty cool. And that's pretty much everything that we get. We'll set all this aside and we will have a first look on the light. So really nicely machined, nice clean engravings, pocket clip that is screwed on so you can remove it if you want. It seems that we have magnets inside the tail, and then we have a lid to open or access the USB-C port. So I got a metal piece here and it is magnetic, so that's pretty nice. And you can attach it to any metal surface to work on a car or other handy stuff. Would say we have a closer look at the manual. It has a quite interesting user interface, or operating instructions are shown here with a nice scheme. I will show you this, how it works. We have the possibility to use the two different lights separately or together. Like we have a floodlight that is one Samsung LH351D with 4000 Kelvin and CRI of 90. You see it's sitting behind a nice orange peel reflector. And then we have a spotlight, which is an Osram NM1 6500 Kelvin LED, which sits in a smooth reflector for longer beam distance. And then you can also have a mode where you can use the two lights together. The highest output modes I will tell you, the other ones I will write down in the product description, are the lowest mode 185 lumen, and the highest mode is 500 lumen for 1 minute, and then it will dim down 2 times up to or down to 17 lumen, and the turbo mode offers 1200 lumen for 1 minute, and then it will also dim down. Peak beam intensity is 17,956 candela, maximum beam distance 268 meters, impact resistant to drop of height of 1 meter, and waterproof according to standard IP65. For the size and weight, battery is fully installed inside the light, so you can't change it. It is 81.5 millimeters long, and it has a wideness of 39 millimeters and a thickness of 25.9 millimeters with the clip. If you take off the clip, it's only 20 millimeters wide. The weight is 109.5 grams, including the batteries, as you can't take them out. Then it has a voltage indication, so when the flashlight is on, blue light shows you that it's below 3.4 volts. If it's purple, then we are between 3.4 and 3.2 volts. If it's red, it's 3.2 up to 2.8 volts, and then the light will turn off automatically as soon as it is dropping below 2.8. So 3.4, above 3.4 is blue, and then when we charge the battery it will be flashing red, and after the battery has fully been charged it will be constant blue. So that's quite easy to remember. You can also use the battery or the flashlight as a power bank, but only if there's enough power left in the flashlight. That's also quite handy if you are in an emergency situation and you need to charge your phone. Then it's always cool to have a power bank function. I have not found any info about the battery that is used inside, but I suppose it's two 14500 batteries by the size of it, but they don't give us any information about the milliamps that are used inside, or how many milliamps the battery has to offer. So for the operating instructions, you have single clicks up to pentaclick, so 5 clicks. If you press for a long time, the floodlight will turn on in the moonlight mode, which is not indicated how bright it is. I will measure it. From there, with a double click, you get to the strobe mode. So moonlight and strobe are the special modes. So double click, and then we have the strobe. Single click to turn it back on again. If we want to go to the general mode, then we just push the button once shortly. It will activate in the spot mode. Now you keep the button pressed and it will cycle through the two different low and high modes. Double click will go to turbo of that one. And if you want to switch between the two, you have to triple click, then it will switch. Same operation. Hold the button for low and high, double click for turbo. When the light is off, double click will go to turbo in the last used mode. So if we turn on again, triple click, and now double click, we have the spot mode that is on. So it has a good memory, that's always nice. And you can also switch if you triple click from off. So now double click turbo spot, 1, 2, 3, turbo flood. So it's all accessible from the off state. That is really nice. If now you want to activate the two lights, it's a quadruple click from off, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, now I locked the light, it's 5 clicks, then it will blink. We are in lockout mode, so now nothing happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it is delocked. Now we will try again to go to the dual mode. So we are in the dual mode. Here it's a bit different. You keep the button pushed and it cycles through turbo, high, low, high, turbo, low, and so on. So a double click will not give us turbo, but it will deactivate one of the lights. So that's pretty much everything for the user interface. I will now fully charge the flashlight, measure it in my ulbrichtball, and then we will head outside for the beam shots in the forest. So guys, I have the Manker F14 in front of me in the lowest flood mode, which is indicated with 1 lumen. I even measured 0.75, so really nice that they have such a low mode. Then we have the 140 lumen mode, which I measured with 166 lumen. Crank it up a notch to the 320 lumen mode, which I measured with 365 lumen. Then with a double click the turbo, which is indicated with 750 lumen, I even measured 820 12 lumen. After 1 minute it dims down to 240 lumen. I measured 270 lumen, so you get a decent turbo mode for about 1 minute that you can always reactivate. I activated the spot mode in the lowest mode with 70 lumen. I measured 60 lumen, but you already get a nice beam distance out of it. Then we go to the 260 lumen mode, which I measured with 245 lumen. Double click for turbo, which does not look a lot brighter. It's 520 lumens, which I only measured with 350 lumen. So here the potential is still there. I will come back behind the camera and show you if we activate all the lights together. I really like the light. The only thing I don't like about this light is that the batteries are built in. I always prefer if you have swappable batteries, because if at some point the batteries die, you have to open up the housing, and it's always complicated to replace the batteries. If you just have replaceable batteries, it's a bit more eco-friendly. So for the dual mode we need to 4 times click the battery, and then you see the 2 lights or LEDs are on. Now we get a really nice bright beam. I will switch down to the lowest mode with 185 lumen, which I measured with 195 lumen. Go 1 up to 500, which I measured with 550, and then the highest mode with 1220 lumen, which I measured with around 1180 lumen. So overall the output modes are quite accurate. Expect the spot mode in the highest mode, which is running about 200 lumens low. That's not ideal, but not the end of the world. So I hope all the questions about this flashlight have been answered. If not, please make sure to put them in the comment section. And as always, I would really like if you could leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.